The last time we saw our next guest, she told us something big was in the works and she'd come back to share the news, and she's making good on that today. Dr. Maryanne Stevens is the president of College of St. Mary. Welcome back.
Thank you. Thanks very much.
I am anxious to get into this news, but I want to talk about you and the celebration that's been going on. 20th anniversary. Are you still celebrating, or did you get it all out of your system?
No, I got it all out of my system. Enough about me. You know?
Enough about you, seriously? Do you want to go on?
Yes, that'd be great.
Okay. She is so humble, but 50 years as a Sister of Mercy, and I think that should be commended.
Thank you.
But this tuition reset is what everybody's talking about in Omaha and honestly around the country, trying to figure out how you're making this happen. What inspired it in the first place?
Well, what inspired it in the first place is the national conversation really about the high cost of college education and people leaving college with so much debt that they couldn't participate in the economy. They couldn't buy houses, they couldn't buy cars, et cetera, et cetera. So we said we need to do something about that. And we know that we don't want our students to be burdened with that kind of debt. Plus, we wanted to be more transparent about college costs. So we wanted students to begin to understand why they're paying what they're paying. Instead
of getting a statement and saying all of these things, you go, I don't even know what this is. I don't know what that word even means. Why am I paying $400 for this obscure fee? The students, I want to break this down, both what it means for incoming students, but then also those who are already enrolled. So as you're looking at a tuition reset, what does it mean for students who are already with you?
For students who are already with us, they'll save at least $1,000 on their next year's tuition bill. And we've already rolled out the letters. They all know that. We showed them what they're paying this year, what they will pay next year. So, and everyone is saving at least $1,000, some more than that.
What have you heard as those letters went out?
Lots of cheers in the hallway. I mean, but also some students saying, now I don't understand this. Explain it to me. How can you do this? Do you know?
What am I losing?
Mostly, what am I losing? That's right. What am I losing? But you're not losing anything. But what we're able to show you is we're able much better to show you what you're paying for and what the cost is. And we have no fees. So the tuition that we state on our website and that we state in other places is the cost. And as long as you're taking, you're a regular full-time student as an undergraduate, that's the cost.
There's not the fine print that people would expect, like if this was a marketing gimmick.
That's right.
That you would be looking around, but where are they going to hit me with it later on?
That's right.
This isn't about tricks. This is about doing what's right for your students.
That's correct.
With something like textbooks, which we hear people talk about the cost there, are you able to affect that for students too?
We have a task force right now made up of faculty and staff and a couple of students who are looking at the price of textbooks and materials, because you're right, that drives up the cost as well. And so we're looking into that, and we hope to be able to make some changes in terms of how students access materials, how students use materials by the end of next year.
When I was in college, I worked a couple of jobs to try to make ends meet as a young person. When college is more affordable, is there something to it that you feel like students are able to focus on that field, on their studies, instead of spending as much time at a job? I mean, is that part of this picture too?
That's part of the picture. One of the things we're doing in the past, we often rolled work study into how they would pay, and now we're saying to them, you can do your work study on the campus, and that money can go into whatever needs you might have. Gas money, money for food, money for whatever.
Right. Do you think other colleges might follow in your footsteps? Are you seeing that yet?
We're hoping that. We have received 5 or 6 phone calls from colleges across the country saying to us they'd like to talk to us about our financial modeling and how we did it. So we're hoping. And there are a handful of, maybe 2 handfuls of colleges who have already done this across the country.
Well, it's hardly the norm, though.
That's correct.
What the norm is every year, okay, tuition's up 4%, 5%, 6%. Every year. But then how do you convey the importance of a college education to families when they say, okay, well, if it's going to cost this, how can we justify it for those incoming students? What's your message?
Well, my message would be go to college. I mean, make sure you know what you're going to pay and why you're paying it. Make sure that you look at the value proposition. Is it the right fit for you? Is it the right place for you? Is it the right program of study for you? Because everyone is very particular. On the other hand, go to college. It's a life-changing experience.
This change is this tuition reset, as they describe it. It's one of a string of exciting things happening at the College of St. Mary.
Yeah.
I mean, they are adding new academic programs, adding sports, making capital improvements left and right. It's such an exciting time, and I can only imagine for you to have been in this role now for 20 years to have all of this happen now. I mean, you're hardly like in this sunset phase.
No, I'm not sunsetting.
This is like, let's shake it up, let's make waves, and let's do what's right for our students. So for our viewers who are watching now and want to enroll, what's the best way to go about it?
Call College of St. Mary Admissions, 402-399-2400,
Yeah.
or look at us on the website,
Yeah.
and you can inquire and apply there.
Easy enough, csm.edu. Thank you, and congratulations again on these milestones.
Thank you. Thanks
Thank
very
you.
much, Mary.
Well, it is hard to fathom